Hello, everyone. I'm Nick Bradley.
I'm Eric Hanratty.
And I'm Dave Bales. Welcome to Not the Situation Room.
Eric Hanratty. Welcome to the show, bud. Dave and I, just for other people wondering, who's Eric Hanratty? Eric's been around for a long time. Dave and I have been working with him for a while. We just finally managed to get him to pop on the show.
Yeah, it took way too long, but here you are.
Hey, I got a lot of free time, guys. I'm all yours. Thanks for having me. So, Dave, since we're both in Florida, have you been having to dodge any fallen iguanas?
No, there are no iguanas that I've had to dodge here in Orlando. I don't remember how badly they were infested in Pensacola.
I saw a video just the other day of a guy that was using the iguanas to make tacos.
You've never eaten iguana, have you?
I have not, but I mean, I've been
It's
to Belize. I've been to other places where iguana's a thing. It's like I'm not freaking out over it. It tastes mostly like chicken lizard,
it does taste
and
like chicken.
I've had alligator, and I've been told it tastes relatively similar. So there you go.
Yeah.
It was just interesting that the guy decided to make a whole video about turning frozen iguanas into tacos.
Which is really sad because they're not dead.
Yeah, you're
No,
just warming them up.
well, he did humanely dispatch it and do all the stuff, right? He didn't just chop it up while it was alive. Oh, I am getting into dangerous territory here now, aren't
Yeah.
I? A freaking PETA's going to come after me or something.
Yeah, well, we can jump into the news now because I do
We
have
can jump into the news
yeah,
now.
we've got a few things we could talk about. First on the list, an article from Code Crank,
What a
which
name.
right. All the references to these stories will be in the description. So here's what's happening. Scammers are sliding into developers' LinkedIn messages with fake but incredibly awesome sounding job opportunities. Something like, hey, you want to make $600,000 evaluating our real estate platform?
And of course, nobody suspects that at all, right? It's like,
No.
what? Get rich quick, easy? Sure, I'm in.
Well, if they did suspect it, we'd be out of a job.
True, true. Okay.
So,
And they look legit. I saw one the other day from a company out in SoCal where 400, $600,000 range is the norm. Like you wouldn't think twice about that one.
I'd live in California for $400,000 a year. Why not?
You mean where you can live on that like you're making 100,000 because that's what it'd be like.
Oh, so it would be no different.
Yeah.
But
So
he'd be next to Disneyland, not Disney World.
There's that. I don't like Disneyland as much as Disney World.
well, it's gotten a lot more
Right.
upgrades now than the one in California. So, but continue.
There's that. Yeah. Anyway, so a developer who recently got one of these messages found out the hard way what's really going on. When they downloaded the project code to review, they were actually installing hidden malware inside a PDF. It looked legitimate, it looked pretty awesome, but the trick is clever. The moment you run the normal developer command npm install to set up the project, malware automatically activates in the background. It's going to steal your passwords,
Of
grab
course it does.
sensitive files. Yeah, I know. Everything wants to steal a password. That's why we don't use passwords, use passcodes. Anyway, and
Nothing like preying on someone who's probably already out of work.
yeah, I mean that's the low down dirty shame of this is that they're already out of work and now you're just gonna delete their bank account from
Steal
them?
what little they have left.
Yeah, including their dignity. So they even monitor things like copy and paste. So you can't even copy things and paste it because they're looking at that too. So what makes it especially dangerous though is how well disguised it is. It's not just that they're sending obvious virus attachments. They're wrapping those things in malicious code inside real world looking applications.
Mhm.
They're hiding the dangerous parts behind encoded text that's hard to spot unless you know exactly what to look for.
Like you guys are saying, everybody has a vulnerability. So even being in security, I'm having to deal with some of this firsthand. And what I liked most about that article was the guy said he ran it by AI, and AI said everything looks good.
Oh,
Check, you're fine.
Oh, here we go.
uh, I
But
Nick's gonna go on a
I was
rant.
waiting for you to say the AI freaked out and caught it all, right? Because AI is so perfect, but I guess not in this case.
This is
well,
proof
I
positive we can't trust AI as much as we do.
And it's painful
right,
to
and
say that though,
that
because
goes back.
I like AI, but Continue.
Right, but I think it goes back to a lot of it's machine code doing what machine code does. It's just, are you using it for good stuff or not so good stuff?
However,
But yeah,
what I do have to say is, where is Jason Statham and the Beekeepers when you need them?
Oh, they are nowhere to be found, sir. Nowhere.
they got bigger things to go after, I think.
I guess so, more than Jason Statham's grandmother.
But yeah, I also just wanted to mention I've had a few. I haven't had any malicious links or downloaded any code, but I've had some items. I literally had one earlier today where I'm talking to a recruiter, and one of the first sentences in his email is, "Please send me a copy of your driver's license." I'm like,
Oh,
you don't need that on our first email. Like, no, no.
we had that on the show a couple of months ago about sending driver's licenses out.
Just send
And
them a big picture. Oh no, I can't do that here.
Don't do that.
I stopped.
What's
same
next?
thing. Same thing. I
Uh,
had one ask me for my social on one of our first discussions. I'm like, you don't need that. Like, that is not part of the interview process.
the irritating part about this one, though, that pushes it a little bit further before we jump to the next item, is if you're applying for a developer or a coding position, it seems legit for them to want you to download code and review it and give them your feedback, right? So it's just another way of forcing a little bit more implied trust in there, because you expect it, right?
And as people that are looking for their next jobs, it's constantly that balance. You have to put yourself out there, but also sometimes you get things and you're like, okay, maybe that's a little too much. Let me click
Yeah,
the X on that one.
yeah.
Sometimes I think I'm just going to go back to unloading trucks and stocking shelves.
Well, you know what you're going to do right now? You're going to
I'm
move
good.
on to another AI story.
You are correct. So, this article comes to us from eSecurity Planet. OpenClaw or Open Door. Prompt injection creates AI backdoors. Security researchers have uncovered how hackers can turn AI assistants into backdoors without exploiting any actual software bugs. Zenity researchers showed how attackers can use what's called indirect prompt injection to secretly take control of OpenClaw, a popular AI agent that runs continuously on user systems.
Have you
It,
ever heard of OpenClaw before this?
I honestly I had not,
Neither have I. This
but apparently
I've done some
I was living under a rock.
in the past week or two. There's the Open Claw, the Claw Bot. There's some other Claw adjacent tools that are getting a lot of press.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Before all of this OpenClaw press that's come out in the last couple of weeks, I'd never heard of this before, and now I realize it's a lot bigger than I thought. But I didn't have any info on it.
I guess I've just been sheltered using our own AI stuff that's not just sitting out there, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Ours is
But
locked away.
more on this one. So the attack is sneaky because it doesn't need any technical vulnerabilities. Instead, it takes advantage of how OpenClaw naturally works. When the AI assistant reads documents, chats, or emails as part of its job, it can't tell the difference between legitimate instructions and hidden malicious commands buried in the content. So once tricked, OpenClaw can be instructed. It's like a subliminal message. You're reading an email, and somewhere in there it says, "Unalive yourself." What?
Isn't that what we used to do with our essays back in like high school? Try to put a hidden message and see if the teacher read it.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I'm not alone in that.
No, no.
It's okay. I've done it to employees before when I've given them something to proofread, like add a sentence in there somewhere that says, "In case of a real emergency, call the Ghostbusters," and
He
they'll
he
yeah, completely missed it.
he did it. I completely missed it, and this was so long ago, but I remember it well.
Hey man, I wasn't gonna throw you under the bus directly.
Hey, I'll admit to it though. I mean, I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, I reviewed that, no problem. No, you
Oh man.
didn't.
Oh man, but with this one, apparently once it's tricked, OpenClaw can be instructed to add new chat integration that the attacker controls, connect to Telegram bots, and from there they just basically have an open channel to issue commands to the assistant using all the permissions the user originally granted. And so, what makes this one particularly dangerous is how persistent it becomes. The attackers can modify the AI's core memory file, sol.md, and create scheduled tasks that maintain control even after a restart. So, unplugging it and plugging it back in doesn't fix the problem.
Man, that's the first line in tech support.
Ah. And then, of course, obviously, then once they have complete control, it's your standard, bad guy playbook, right? Use it to
Yep.
install malware or whatever, information stealers you want, tracking, all of that stuff.
But
Yeah.
that's how fast this stuff is moving. Like I can remember just probably a few weeks or months ago, AI doesn't have a memory. Well, here we go. Now it does. Like now
Yeah.
it remembers. Um,
In this case, though, what are the guardrails? I mean, because the AI thinks it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So even if you put guardrails around it, it doesn't realize it's made any violations.
I just think it goes back to what are our fundamentals because
Yeah.
we saw the same thing when cloud took off. What are our access
Mhm.
controls? What's our shared responsibility? Same thing with AI. Some of the same tactics that we've learned over the years, we got to
It's new
reapply to these.
technology, Eric. We have to adopt it and use it as soon as possible.
Exactly. As quick as possible, security will catch up.
And
Maybe.
it's the next big thing,
Oh
always.
boy, it's actually funny. I was thinking that and you beat me to it because that was really it. Use it and let's figure out the security part of it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's our DevSecOps we talk so much about?
That's how we get ourselves into trouble. The biggest DDoS attack ever.
You're going to expect me to put an echo on that, aren't you?
If you don't, that's
Oh, I
okay.
thought we were
You
supposed
will
to be
be
the echo.
you will
Sorry.
be sad.
I will be sad. Yeah. But you probably didn't notice this one. But you might have. But
We
in
don't
delay,
notice most of them that we have to be told about them or we don't know they happened.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. And we also have to be told that it's the biggest one ever, every single time.
I
Yeah.
thought we had a biggest one ever last week too.
We did.
That was that week. This is this week.
It's the biggest one ever this week. I love
Next week it'll be even bigger and it'll be the
yeah.
biggest one ever again.
Yeah, well, in late December of last year, a telecommunications company faced the largest DDoS attack ever, orchestrated by the Isuru botnet and peaking at 31.4 terabits and 200 million requests per second. That's some quantum computing speed.
That's a lot of garbage to throw at a to throw out there.
Oh boy, is it? It's probably all just sin packets.
So who knows? I mean, it could be that, or it could be as complicated as throwing out, things to hit vulnerabilities that you know about that would
Yeah.
cause shutdowns. I mean, we think of DDoSs or DOSs as just flooding the network with enough traffic to bring it down, whereas you can have a denial of service happen because of a vulnerability in a platform that just makes it shut off or makes it reboot or makes it just or breaks it, right? It's still a
They,
denial of service.
they
Right.
did say in the article it was just a layer four brute force
Of
flood.
course. Of course it would be that boring.
Yeah, because, I'm sure that if we go back and look at the research, we could probably figure out which telecommunications company had an outage in December of 2025.
Although I will
That
say this.
reminds me, did I collect my $20?
That does remind me. That does make me want to do something like give a shameless plug here, though, because Cloudflare definitely deserves the
They
coveted
did.
the coveted
Yeah.
pat on the back award. The one that Angry Drill Sergeant likes to do.
There you go. Yeah, they
Good
actually
job.
mitigated the attack.
Good job.
The unprecedented bombardment is what they described it as, but they said in their 2025 Q4 DDoS threat report.
So a little funny story about these botnets that we're seeing today,
Yeah.
because a lot, especially like this one, what it consists of is a lot of just little Internet of Things devices,
Yeah.
right? Not it's not all of them are compromised PCs and laptops and whatnot. It's all the little things. And why I say that's a funny thing is because an individual some of you may remember by the name of Lyndon Sutherland, another one, Dave McMillan, some of you might know, those two and I put out a blog. I'm talking 15 years ago, maybe longer, that was about the threats of IoT and DDoS, and it was kind of scoffed at. Like, That'll never be a thing. Those things are too small. They don't have enough power. They'll never accomplish what you're saying.
Nick, I do want to take it back to AI real quick because that's another vector.
It is another vector. You're right.
DDoSes against AI, that's a lot of compute, a lot of electricity, a lot of resources. That tips over pretty easy. It's another thing we got to think about. Keep an
That
eye out
part's
for.
true. That's a great aspect to bring up because when you start doing things like that to AI and you start just eating power, that's a whole nother threat.
Do you think that that blog that you wrote with Lyndon and Dave is still active somewhere?
It might be. That's a good question. I might have to go dig for that.
If you do find it, I think we should put it in the description of this video because I think that'd be an interesting read, especially now that we're seeing exactly that situation happen.
Maybe because back then I didn't have AI to feed it into and say rewrite this and make it better. So
You're giving away your secrets, Nick.
I might read it and go, "Ooh, I was not good."
I think
Oh,
that's
Everything is
everything
written
we
by
do know.
artificial intelligence.
But the good news is I've heard that the internet never forgets. So it's probably out there somewhere.
oh no,
Oh, we can
it
check the
never
Wayback
forgets
Machine.
until you actually try to find something that you're still hoping was there, and then it's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
All right, what do we
Um,
got? What do we
we
got
got the
next?
last story.
Oh,
Go
we
ahead.
would be remiss if we didn't bring this one up. We would actually have to be ashamed of ourselves to not bring this one up.
We should let Eric do this one, like the
Hey,
old days.
yeah, go for it, man.
Are we talking about Notepad plus plus
Heck
Yes,
supply
yeah,
chain
sir.
attack?
yeah, we
Oh,
are.
okay. I think I heard about this.
Everybody heard
So
about this.
I didn't read this article though, but we heard about it.
Isn't it a good thing I wrote a script for you to read that's right there?
Yeah, yeah.
You
So
should
here we
do you should
go.
do that.
Here we go. The massive footprint on this alone is enough to get me talking.
Oh
This
boy.
is a lot of
Okay,
developers.
never mind.
Nope, nope. Apparently, I'm not on script.
Oh
I'm
no,
off
you're
script
you're
already.
you're on script. That's just the part that's not supposed to sound scripted.
Oh, you didn't comment it out.
Oh,
I
that's
am
my
not a
failure.
programmer. I am not a programmer.
All right. Just give us the meat and the potatoes then.
All right. So there was a supply chain attack on one of our favorite tools we use, Notepad plus plus, and this came out of our Chinese state-sponsored group.
You know, I swore that it was Russia, and I had to go back and double check that because when I read, it, I was like, "This wasn't China; it was Russia." No, no,
Well, they're adjacent.
it
They're right
was
next to each
China.
other.
It was China.
It was China.
But it
Go
doesn't
ahead.
say which group.
No, I don't think we ever got the name of which group it was, but we could probably throw a dart and hit the one.
Yep.
Okay, we're just gonna say X Panda.
Okay, yeah,
That would
that
cover
good
them all.
good call. CrowdStrike would appreciate that.
So what I have seen is a call for everybody in the world to start looking at their hashes of their approved applications in their environments so that they know, hey, this is a legitimate copy or update to your programs versus something somebody might have messed with.
Yeah, the thing with this one though that makes it so ugly, well, first off, is like was so eloquently stated was the footprint.
Yeah.
And which I felt like a total tool about because I didn't even know what Notepad plus plus was. I was using something different. Um, but the fact is, what they compromised was the update modules, right? Where so if you
Yeah.
did an update, that's when you got compromised, which was really frustrating for us on this show because one of our mantras is what? Patch your
Patch your
shit.
shit.
And so in this case, doing that was what got you compromised. So
Yeah.
I give up.
Well, it was also unrotated credentials, though. I mean,
This is
to
true.
be fair, it wasn't just updating. You also had to have update verification that worked, and this just wasn't working. So, you
Almost
know,
like there should be some layers of security, multiple
That's
things we can do.
what
that's
do you
crazy
call
talk.
that? I think it's got an acronym, something like DID, Defense in Depth.
That's
That's what it
crazy.
is,
You
layered
stop you stop
security.
using those bingo terms, I'm gonna
Oh,
win. But
damn.
anyway, this one they compromised it for a while. It lasted all the way up to December 2nd, when they
Yeah.
finally rotated all the credentials and fixed the vulnerability. But it was out there for a while. I don't even want to guess at how many people might have gotten compromised by this one.
Yeah,
All of
it
them.
was a lot.
All of
It
them.
has
All
been
of them.
mitigated.
Eric says yes.
Yes.
Yes, all of
Yeah,
them.
all users. It has been mitigated though. There are new versions out there. You can click the story in the description and find out where those mitigations are. But that's
Users are
what we got for
advised
the
to
news.
update to version 8.9.1 and change their credentials for SSH, FTP, SFTP, and MySQL databases.
There you go.
And check the hash.
And check the hash, or Eric's going to come to your house and knock on your door as the
Yes,
beekeeper.
indeed. Yeah, he's going to start up that beekeeper group, and I'm going to join it.
I think we should let Eric take us out.
Yeah, Eric, why don't you take us out?
All right. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Yep, like, share, follow, subscribe, leave us a comment, and
We'll see you next time.